about to shut this whole thing down. Turn it off.
Now the bell rang. Go to mouth.
I wasn't late. I was on my shoe. You ain't seen it.
We're doing our love now.
After we do the opening.
Well, I was over there tying my shoes. So I was
Fabulous. Sit down. Do the opening.
She don't care. Sit down. I don't care about you. What are you talking about?
What?
Like, do you use it
Sometimes.
outside of school?
Sometimes.
Like when?
People ask me questions all the time.
But has it like ever been a time where like you needed it to like survive?
There haven't been a lot of times I've needed to survive a lot.
This
It's not like I live in a jungle.
I mean, I like this kind of stuff. It's cool, but like, I don't think my future should depend completely on it, you know? You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
I went up high. It's my eye.
What's wrong?
It's my eye. You want? You want? What? You don't do the muscle shit?
Remember, today's day 9, tomorrow we're collecting.
You saying tomorrow?
Uh-huh. I am?
What?
See, I was gonna come in here this morning and do some work, but I kind of didn't wake up until like late.
Nigel, the whole reason I moved Grace or told her to move back was so she wasn't sitting with you.
I'm gonna be quiet though.
Huh?
I'm gonna be quiet though.
Wow.
Like, go
We weren't even talking yesterday.
Huh?
We weren't even talking yesterday. I did my work.
Yeah, he didn't do his.
Because he was in the mood, not because of me.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever.
And I should let y'all sit together because he was in the mood yesterday?
I didn't say that.
I'm just saying it had nothing to do with me, is all.
You know how I live that? Spent all the last year. You guys said,
Let's be honest, like,
very hot.
already.
What?
No, it's not.
Anybody seen Joseph or Luis lately?
Yes.
Markel, why you go back there? I should take the hat off.
Joseph said he's not coming. We don't
That's how you eat.
He's not coming anymore? Nonsense, hey.
This is not healthy.
We don't want one, guys.
Great.
We don't want one. Come on. Don't settle for less. How people die.
Of our wave interactions. hoping that you could identify them for me. I'm still waiting on the AirPods, the earbuds, Markel, Eduardo, Markel.
But dude is watching Blue Bloods.
Yes, he is. Unless he's finished it. Oh, he must be done.
It's all my block now.
Take your earbud out. Thank you. He was watching Blue Buds. I don't know what he's done. It's a series. All right, so look at the number one. What do we think? What? No, you might have said it right. I just can't hear you. I heard but I wasn't sure if it was reflection or refraction. All right, I heard reflection and I hear refraction. Okay, one of the two of them is right.
Reflection.
All right, I hear refraction. All right, now the question is it bouncing back, which was reflection, or is it bending because of two different mediums, which is refraction?
Looks like it's bending.
All right, bending is refraction. Okay, so the answer is refraction. Now, to be refraction, it has to have two different mediums. This would be air. Oh, let me change colors. This would be air, and this would be a prism, so this could be like plastic. Okay? Most prisms are made out of glass or plastic. The ones I have are plastic. Okay? I only have like two, but they're plastic. So, it's like the stuff that your glasses are made out of, that's plastic these days. It's not real glass.
All
right.
I think about those big, like, pyramid things.
Yeah, the ones I have are plastic.
Plastic.
Yeah, it's not made of glass.
Plastic.
Didn't I just say plastic? All right, so you have two different mediums, and the wave bends because you have two different mediums. It has a different speed. So that's refraction. What's number two trying to illustrate? That's diffraction. Okay, so you have a series of waves, and they bend and form a new series of waves. All right, what about three?
Interference.
It's interference. Okay, so I had a wave that was coming in this wave, and then this wave was coming, and then they meet. Okay, and what happened to them when they met? What happened right there when they met? Did the wave get bigger or smaller? Okay, so would it have been constructive or destructive interference? Destructive, because they got smaller. Now, the thing you have to remember about interference is after they pass through one another, what happens to the wave? They go back to their original size. They don't stay small. They go back to their original size. So notice they went back to the same size that they were at. Okay, they're only small when they meet. All right, what's 4 trying to show? That's bouncing. Okay, that's reflection. It hit the wall and it bounced off. So that's reflection. What's number 5? That's probably the worst drawing up there. That's what? That's interference. Okay, that's what it sounds like when y'all are all talking at the same time. All right, and number 6. That's diffraction. That's the bending of a wave around something.
What's 2 and 3?
All right, somebody tell Tyler what 2 was. What was 2? Diffraction. The wave goes through a small opening and it bends the wave. All right, what was, you said 3?
Yeah.
What was 3?
Interference.
It's interference.
What was 5?
What was 5?
Interference.
Interference.
Turn it and warm up.
Not till tomorrow. That was 9.
I'm ready for spring break.
We're all ready for spring break, but we're not there yet.
You going to spring break?
Don't think about it.
You going to spring break, Miss Walk?
Am I going anywhere?
You going to spring break?
No, I'm going to stay here for 10 days.
Good for you.
You know, because I love school.
Yeah. You had it on.
I'm ready to be out of here.
Trying to
soon.
get that retirement check.
I'm getting close.
Think
You still doing the lab?
In a minute.
Let's do it.
All right. So, what things are you supposed to know about refraction? All right. What did we talk about for reflection yesterday? What's the key? on your paper? What did we just talk about in the opening?
It bounces off.
It bounces off. So when you guys are answering your questions, okay, because you know I'm grading each of those little boxes for a right and wrong answer, and you're doing the steps, okay? Ask yourself, do the waves go out and come back? Or do they bounce off of something? If they don't bounce off of something, it's not reflection, okay? But if the water waves go out and come back, or if the sound waves go out and come back, then it's reflection. All right, examples I put down were echoes, a mirror, waves hitting the side of a pool. You don't have to have the same examples, but the key is it has to bounce back. Now, for refraction, this is the one that we just talked about a second ago when Malik and I were talking about the plastic. All right, it has to bend due to a change in a pool of water. Rainbows take place because you have refraction. Sunlight shines through water in the air after it rains, and that's why you see a rainbow. Now, you have air, you have water. That's two different mediums. It bends the light from sun. All right? Diffraction can have two different definitions depending on where you got it from. All right? An original wave hits an obstacle and creates a new series of waves, which is why I had that little opening and I showed straight lines and then I drew the curved wave. So it hits like a hole and it creates new waves. All right? You might see that a lot of times at like a beach where you got a little opening and you have the waves hitting it and then you get little waves in the opening or in the hole. All right? The second definition is what you hear all the time. How many of y'all had Miss Bowers last year? You ever hear me talking over there? Nobody ever heard me over there?
I did.
Then your class is way too loud, Najee, because you should hear me over there all the time.
All
right.
We heard you all.
You should have heard me all the time. I'm loud. I know that. All right, but that's diffraction where the waves bend around the door frame and the wall. Okay, when I can hear the chorus and it bends. All right, that's also diffraction where the waves bend around the wall. All right, I don't know if my pictures. I got to draw. Forget that. All right, interference is when two waves combine or occupy the same space. They can either combine to form. Let's see. All right. They can combine in a way to get bigger, where the crests meet and add together. Now, notice, so you got a wave and you got a wave, okay? So they meet up, and what happens to the wave? They get bigger. Now, what happens after they pass through each other, though? They go back and they're their same original size. So this guy goes back to being small, and this guy goes back to being big. They're just on the opposite side of each other over here, okay? So they combine to give you a single amplitude that's bigger. Now, if you're destructive, all right, the waves combine in a way to make the amplitude what? Smaller. Now, you might even cancel out. So in the one that I drew here, so you have an amplitude that's bigger and a crest and a trough that is smaller, and I drew it so they cancel out. Now, do they have to actually cancel out? No, they might just make a small wave. All right, but after they pass through one another again, notice they go back to being their original size. Okay? Now, on your lab sheet from yesterday, when you're doing surface, electromagnetic, and mechanical, remember, mechanical has to have a medium, electromagnetic should have light, and surface needs two mediums with circular motion. Everybody okay with that? All right, because remember, each of those blocks is, I think, 4 points. Okay? I don't want a bunch of terrible lab grades.
Can you say that again?
Say what again? Which part?
The first.
What
Electromagnetic has to involve light. Mechanical has to have a medium. So the wave has to travel through something, some object, some material, some solid, liquid, or gas in order to be a mechanical wave. Okay, to be a surface wave, it has to have two mediums of circular motion. Okay, so to be a surface wave, it could be a surface wave and possibly mechanical. Could it be electromagnetic and a surface wave? Probably not, because you're not going to involve light and two different mediums.
So when we did the thing with those things that make noise and we put it in water, that was surface?
Possibly, yes. Alright. Anybody else? Question? Alright, you guys had two people who left your lab sheets on the counter. Fortunately, I walked around cleaning up the room and found Tyler's and Derek's. So I have Tyler's, Derek's, Esella's, the Avions, and Nigella's. Those are the 5 lab sheets I have. Everybody else should have their lab sheets. The supplies are still at the back. Okay? You have your review sheet. So when you finish the lab, you need to be working on your review sheet. Once we've done all that, we're going to do a Kahoot, and then we're moving on to atomic structure today. Okay? So get going.
So our test is what?
So our test is tomorrow. We're supposed to do a CFA tomorrow. We're not. We're going to do it on Thursday. It's only 14 questions. Okay? And I will use it for bonus points on tomorrow's test. Yeah. Here is the review sheet. Just join the group.
I've never even seen one of those.
You just tell me what it is.
Can't talk, it's good. Marshmallow. Big marshmallow. What was your name? Really? It wasn't. Ask me what it is, just something.
This.
What? About the white kids that were dancing.
Oh,
Right.
what happened?
People call them racist for it. Because they're dancing. Apparently because it's black people.
Is it racist to say that white people can dance them?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why.
I was gonna say something, but I saw somebody post something.
That's what's so messed up.
Yeah. Like, the white people can dance. Did you eat on? Just for you.
You did that too.
Right,
I'm bad. This was what school needs to teach. They didn't teach people.
There's so many dumb people. I was like, watch out. Why are you
Logically think. Right.
Yeah.
People had so many like 30-year-olds that Right, she's not gonna get to the bottom of the bag because she likes to see It's season.
I'm not, it's just laughing.
Whoa.
No, it's just like making
What?
Ew.
What? Can I get a seat? What? No one has.
You gonna mess it up,
It's
we're
like
gonna
Slim
rush
Jim.
it.
I'll pay you tomorrow.
No,
Well, stupid. Ah! Crazy. Ah!
Nobody.
Where's he at? Man, stay over there. You don't gotta listen to me. What barbecue at? Right there.
Nobody.
Barbecue sauce. Hey, you can throw some barbecue in there. Ew, barbecue sauce. I already barbecue. No, you know what? It's good. You put chips on a hot dog, like with the bun and stuff. It like makes it crunchy. Cheese on a hot dog. But you put cheese in good. Cheese
You ain't even told me you're trying to get it up off the ground. What you mean? It's the electromagnetic.
Right, get all the sprinkles everywhere.
I can reflection right there.
Yeah, you were.
I'm gonna put a reflection right there.
what did you put for that?
You're kind of surprised me.
Okay, now what are you gonna do? You gotta put.
No, like you hold my arm that far around.
See?
You was in it and you was with somebody.
It's in there.
I'll walk back.
He said he was with you.
No.
Like,
I was like, you was with somebody.
just pull back.
No, I'll walk back.
We done deployed them.
Yeah, I can't even move my phone.
Nobody.
Stop for it.
Not Jacob. Actually, that's what you're supposed to do, I think. You're supposed to know that wrong. I didn't want either. I can't make it.
You sent me a video like that. Like, here's that.
It's
Everybody. No.
What you mean? I got all the look. Right there. The second son. Science.
Are you going?
You're gonna kill this man. Flexible. Right up.
You playing? Let it fly.
You do the next step.
Wait, don't let go.
No, I want to eat. You put it slow.
Are you gonna let go?
Are you gonna let go?
Yes. No. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Go. Chop. Nobody me. Stop. Put it in.
Next one. Bro, I go to church. Shut up. Let's do like a double dutch. Don't get smacked. Did you not hear what I said? You like to see it?
It's like,
Servers, right?
you know that it's like there's something that was.
No worries.
For example, like, yeah, like,
Okay, let's
this,
go
like,
far.
like, they put
Mind your own business. You don't know what that looks like. And I guess we get off of it. It's like, what was it, like, something? Right. It was like a brown at the bottom of it. Like, I swear to God. And the white person, everything said, no, I want you.
How did you get ours too?
Alright, then. Number 2 is surface.
How do you need more?
I was talking to my cat. But can we keep one light off? They're like, it makes it feel better. Do we have a vote?
No.
What are you doing? No. Wait, stop. It's very bad.
Why? Thank you.
Why on earth are you shining the flashlight up here? Don't shine it in your eyes, do this.
You're my best friend. You know I got that.
Barrel.
Where I think you go.
I have. I need
You gonna do the way. So what I look still. Stop. No. That's terrible.
Hey, you can't say that word.
Alright, hold your
She said that.
You playing those ducks.
Hey, guys, easy on my slinky. That's stretched out the right good way. My hand got a little laid on the floor. Guys, the slinky should not be done in the air like that. Lay them on the floor. They will stretch and not go back.
I've had that problem before.
About how we did it. So basically, it's
Yeah, that's good. Slinky. But aside from that.
so.
She said, excuse me, damn.
You have two different mediums and did it best way. It can't be.
But I need to wait between like things so I can see the wave coming back through the space. Okay, that's good.
Come back.
But you, but see the
What's
problem.
going on? What happened? Nigel, didn't we just talk about not stretching the slinky like that?
She told me to.
It's not gonna go back. You cannot stretch it that far.
Grace, come on.
And also lay it on the floor.
Floor. We can't do it on the floor if you're up there.
Up here for They don't have
How do you? Yeah.
So what's the electro start?
Circuit, they have two mediums. This one is white.
So anything that
Miss Wall.
Well,
Grace did something.
that's why I said not to do that.
Do you know how to fix this? You killed the
Possibly,
split.
possibly not.
I mean, I thought I did, you know.
all you have to do is stretch it back and it'll take off the thing.
You see numbers when you look at these?
Oh, yeah, it's right over the number. Like a white parade at a library. I fixed it. She fixed it, but.
It's going to be.
What you told me?
No.
Look at this one.
I don't see that.
see.
Oh, read. That way.
What's this? This I'm looking at.
I don't care. Well, if you put in the light switch,
I know. I was hoping to make it to the end of the year, but I don't think I'm gonna make it.
Wait, it's law.
Too much work for me.
It's law.
figured it out.
Ow.
Did you start the next step?
What? I'm ignoring you. What?
Why are you ignoring me?
Because I can't.
This you can take a film medium. Is this like solid and going to put it there. Give us our flashlight.
This is not too.
Wow.
It's only one meeting.
Come on.
Regular
I'm not the one that keeps drunk. Free.
Did it wrong.
She gonna give you a zip. She said, if you flash it up, she gonna give you a zip.
See, I called this girl.
Because you called her name and she was listening. She said, yeah, you
Number 7.
dang, I'm helping you. Stop.
Shine a light in the mirror.
This is not adult.
What'd you make? Why, I put some light in the mirror.
That's the light when you get the mirror.
No, like, the very.
The light out the mirror.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, bro, what is the light? If you turn that. Give me the mirror. Freeze. What? Keep on doing it like that.
Okay, what's the first thing? What are you doing? Just get started. What's the point of this little?
Go back.
You stop.
I'm not doing action no more.
What do you do with this?
You can hold the black part up to the sky like this. You don't
The whole thing is black.
You don't need the flashlight. Just
Oh,
and it turns into a rainbow. Look up there in the light.
Into the light, great.
In the light above you.
The light, like, light alone.
I looked at it.
Like this.
I did look at it. It's rainbow.
You said.
I can't see nothing. What does that mean?
Oh, like this light, like if we shine it?
No.
Like, that light right there.
Look.
Okay, I did that already.
Oh, God, just come over here.
Like this. Look at this hole.
Dude.
Yeah, look at it.
Get up
Oh, yeah, Freeze, FBI. Oh,
ones, I like.
I don't know what I was like, it was the wave, I mean, the wave.
Can you stop?
How are we coming on the left?
That's on the last one.
We're on the second from last.
We just said it's a couple of days.
It reflects.
It works.
What did you wipe on?
Just bounce something to me.
Well, can I get some water? Yeah.
This like no.
Thank you.
Oh, God.
She's talking about solids. I'm on this freeze. What's up?
Police.
Wait, wait, that's what they say. No, police, yeah.
So what's the results for eight?
This
I'm just looking to a flashlight.
Why are you doing that?
One of my confidential informants. Right now, my right nose is burning.
What are you doing?
I swear to God.
Mr. was a Mr. Sandman. Why? Do that. What are you doing?
So Brad, I just want to make sure I'm clear. Just look at the lens and see if it appears bigger, if an object seems bigger. Oh, that's right. Thank you.
Or smaller, could be either one.
Okay.
I don't think it's together.
So where's the lens?
But it's
I'm
only
blessed.
solid, so it'll be mechanical. That's all.
Uh-huh.
Where's the mirror?
It's only be mechanical.
Where's the mirror?
That's dirty. Okay. She said, what's the key word you just used? Da-da-da.
The key word is always clean.
She didn't give me an answer, I just put it on the Well, you don't want to talk about this liquid and gas. I don't think it's solid.
Yeah, you said solid.
Solid. What's the solid?
You just back.
Yeah, on this one.
Yeah. What's that? I didn't even do it yet. You did it, I did.
I'm gonna tell you it is.
Now, let's see if they do it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they look big. Oh, they head is low.
I'm like my ex.
Dang.
Oh, what's the pillow top?
Yeah, it's getting big.
Okay, people.
It gets bigger.
Alright, I think it gets bigger.
It got me electro.
Oh my God.
I mean, electric. I think I feel electric.
You know what I can go for right now? I can hear, like a firehouse set back and forth. Okay? So it's asking you what kind of wave it is, mechanical, electro, or circuit. So you have.
You put.
No, you shouldn't.
Okay, so that should tell you what kind of wave it is. Okay? Mechanical, electro, or circuit. Okay? If one person's holding it, and the wave is going back and forth. Is it reflection, diffraction, interference, or diffraction? You have two different mediums. You can't do refraction.
I'm a stand.
Reflection,
No.
interference can,
It wasn't even.
and diffraction, that one medium.
Oh, what?
Is it bending around a wave or through a small opening and creating new waves? Is it diffraction or refraction? Probably.
Okay.
Sure, I'd be a little worried
I
about
feel
that
like it would be.
coming in, putting stuff in your bag and then leaving.
I mean, I could go back if you want.
Hey, Lolly, good to see you. Urella, you and Elizabeth working on the review sheet? Are you just standing there?
No, we're ready.
Oh, on the lab? Okay. Tyler, did you, bail on your lab group or what?
I'm getting help right now.
Okay.
I see that, you just take it up there.
You have to. It's kind of like.
It's hot in here.
I don't know, he did the.
Hey,
I got this.
Mario.
Are we coming?
What'd you say?
It's over there.
Hey, you gave it to me. You talked about it. Did you give me that? Where? Bella, Bella. What do you got?
Mario, I didn't take a
No, man, I'm not letting you.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna, don't pull up.
Markel, why is that hat on your head again?
Because you better open it.
I'm gonna put it on my desk. You can't remember it, it's on my desk. Don't remember. Markel, get off the phone.
His name is Tyler, and I'm like,
Bro, I didn't take your paper, bro.
Alright, so are we done with the labs?
I didn't take. Yeah, you did. Did you grab this paper? Get this paper.
he placed it right there. Somebody else took it.
Oh, this one?
There you go.
Tangled up there.
Bruh, took your paper.
By accident.
Oh my God.
Oh, snap. I'll remember that.
You know, since we gave you everything.
Stop throwing it. I need that. You need a phone. Bring it up.
No one see some cool. Right.
Now.
What y'all say?
You get it.
It wasn't all that.
You took it. I want it.
You got some like hand sanitizer? Them slinkies are dirty.
Go back to your seat.
Oh.
What is that? What are you doing?
She not.
Why you?
She's dropping out. I'm gonna be a sensible one corner too.
Great skill.
Okay, for sure.
Mario, drop out with me and become a finger moonwalker.
Can I show the camera?
It's how you
You
talk.
like in my CI?
It's not in right there. Move. Now.
No,
You
you're
have
the
to
one.
answer these.
No, that's what
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. Why am I always?
Derek,
You're the only one that
Derek.
has 5 times. No, because you were talking in it. That would have been. What?
what are you talking?
What? No.
Wrong person, bro.
Anybody else have any review sheets done?
That's Fernando?
No, that's not.
That's good.
Alright, great, now we'll have your lab.
Yeah.
That middle counter needs to put their lab basket back over there on the counter.
Oh, tissue.
If anybody else has their review sheet, I'll be glad to put the grade in the computer.
I have. Here you go.
Whose paper are you copying?
I'm writing from.
He's in my group.
Who's in your group?
Derek,
Why isn't he writing that stuff down as y'all are doing it?
because we had to ask.
Because you had to ask.
I didn't understand how to like write something. Like, I didn't know.
Why you asking
I did it
questions, Tom?
Bring your review sheet so I can compare answers.
Well, Miss Wall has, I'm gonna give it to you after.
Now, those people are done, what are you supposed to be working on?
The review sheet.
Yeah, so in a minute, we're gonna play hoop, and then we're moving on to new stuff. This is why I did not build in time to do the review sheet today.
Well, then.
Stop rubbing the chair against the wood.
My bad, you know I can't draw.
Can I get some water?
You stay up there.
No.
Mario,
We're up there.
Right, yeah.
On my desk.
My name.
They do.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't sit down. Were you home before?
Tyler, Mario, get off my desk.
Why?
Because I said so.
Stop. Ew. Don't see me. What it feel like?
Grace, get off the counter and sit on a stool.
Right, like sit down normal, like a normal human. Common sense. Right, common sense. Have some manners. Have some respect.
And Derek, take y'all's lab stuff and put it on the back table.
Clean thing.
Really?
Yes, you know.
That's my Kelsey.
You riding your bike?
It's my life.
Let's go back to my life. Alright?
Grab this.
You right?
We'll give it to her.
Jose, let me get that stool. Can you get rid of
Damn, she actually went in the shopping cart.
On the left.
Take time about my bike, bro. You got motor on it.
Key ways y'all are identifying these waves is just flat off.
Turn the engine on.
I'm not
Like,
listening.
it wasn't giving me enough.
Reflection has to do with road. Why does it say about that? Refraction has to have what?
No.
It's got a bend and it's got to have how many mediums?
Well, you good, Jose?
Come on, fix that. So before you get on long choice.
Do what she said.
I'm just telling you, this is not right.
Ooh, bro, I swear to God, let's take this. Do I not?
Tomorrow.
Well, I didn't
Did you do
steal
your
it.
own?
Let me wear it, then, like, you never asked me.
Jose.
You're gonna be in.
That's a referral.
We got to do the Kahoot. Well, guess we got to do it.
Baby, you said no to me the first time, so that means.
Put those over there, Derek.
You can see all.
Derek, turn the flashlights off and put them up.
He's a lighthouse.
No, you cannot keep the lights off.
What do you want me to do with mine?
Hey, dear, I'm getting ready
Can I
to.
keep this one?
Mario, get off back of this.
I was gonna see it light up.
You're changing grades. This is gonna be lit. Still changing grades. She about to spank y'all. She about to spank y'all. Oh, she hit him. Oh,
It was that hard. Like,
oh, she hit him. Y'all film that, bro? Send it to,
Get off my desk.
bro, that was perfect time.
Call the police.
I'm recording all these videos together.
Here, young. Put the flashlight up. Turn the lights on. Grace, get off the.
Mario, can you give me a reach for so long?
Yeah, that's the best thing to do.
You ever just put?
All right. Does anybody need the laptop? Anybody need a laptop? I wasn't talking to you. I was talking about anybody else. Are we okay with our phones?
I wanna watch this
Yes, you have to play.
Shut up.
Alright.
Derek, Why is it every time I look at you, you've taken more supplies out of the basket than you put back together? I just have to get you.
How many people have that? Too many people have that. Put some hand sanitizer.
Oh, no. Yeah, you was hoping.
Gotta get some of these to say set up for.
By the way, Lucas went off.
What do you say? What do you say?
I'm trying to.
Michael, are you in there?
Answer.
You're the who today?
I'm a little butt up.
What?
Elizabeth, are you in there?
Oh, yeah, I see.
Okay, are you in there?
Yeah, I'm about to put the cold.
Eduardo, who are you? Up there. Okay.
Who is Bradley?
Nigel, you in there?
Yeah, who was the thing with
Who are you?
Daddy?
Oh, I should have known. And Grace
I still
is
I'm
who?
gonna have to use
It's
my
use your
phone
phone, it's use your
yeah.
phone. I see you use the
She's
emoji.
Ashley.
So I got that right now.
Who is the crazy emoji or letters or
That's
something?
Malik.
Right, I'm Malik.
Oh, okay.
Who?
Which one is Jose up there?
The one that says Jose. Daddy?
I don't see Jose.
He said Daddy.
Because he's not up there.
Who? Oh,
That's stupid.
Lil what?
apparently that's Markel.
Could I be anybody?
I don't see Jose.
Cause he's not in there. They lied to you.
Huh?
He said, oh, not Florida.
He's not playing?
Oh, yes.
Do you need a laptop?
That's you.
Who's Miss Wallace?
Miss Wallace. Keep it. No, please. I don't want to sign back in.
Look at her face.
It's not me. Last person that played as me lost.
Her name is Miss Wallace.
No.
Dude, the last person that played as me lost. You're not playing as me.
I hope I lose.
You better come up with a new name because it's not me.
All right, help me come up with a name.
Mr. Wall.
I see.
Dude, you're not playing as me. Unless you can guarantee you're going to
Miss
win.
Wall,
Yes.
do you have Jose Santana?
Yes.
Can you send him to the office? He's leaving.
Okay.
Thank you.
I guess
That's
why I did it.
Remember, I need your review sheet tomorrow.
Why you
Excuse
going
me,
without
I'm
me?
like, there, Tyler, move.
Now, you will see some of these same graphics tomorrow on the test.
Wait, Miss Wall.
Find the amplitude.
Talking about.
You will see some of these same graphics on the test.
Oh.
Oh.
I was about to do calculus.
Oh.
I think
Some glasses.
Brand new whip.
First skill, that takes too long.
I clicked the wrong one.
All right. So if we look at this,
Oh crap.
all right, amplitude goes from where to where? Rest to the top. It's like half of it. So half of 0.4 is what? 0.2.
Can you cut it up? Because I can't hear nothing.
I don't have it on. All
Oh, I get it now.
right, so half of 0.4 is 0.2.
Well, I got that wrong.
Take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more.
Which one's a wavelength? There's more than one right answer, but there's not more than one choice that's a right answer.
It's more like beef.
But that's whack. I took the wrong one.
Can't no more. I got horses in the back.
I can't see.
Thinking that.
Then move
I
closer.
really can't see.
So I said move closer.
Y'all hear that?
No.
Look like
It
this.
takes so long.
It don't look right.
Correct.
All right.
Yeah, right.
So when you look at this, again, a wavelength has to go from the same point. So A to C would be right, or B to D would be right. Okay, C to E would also be right. The problem is you don't have all those choices on there. So the only one that's right that's on there is B to D, which is why I said there's more than one right answer. But you just don't have all those choices. Okay, which has the smallest amplitude? Smallest amplitude.
Oh, I thought I clicked the wrong way.
Miss Wallace.
What's
Yes.
in little bag?
What about the old throwing around home? Would you go after him?
I'm not chasing you anywhere.
She'll
Like
be like,
ever.
she'll be like, oh.
Write me up.
She said like,
Why is so mean? Why you gotta be so mean, Miss Wallace?
All right. So amplitude, we did pretty well with.
Wait, what?
What's the name of point D?
Wait.
Amplitude.
Bro, y'all are silly.
What time is it?
12:50 something. Good. Move out of the way.
Cross.
Little buttocks in fourth place.
That's good. All right. What type of wave is that?
Longitudinal.
Electromagnetic.
Now, can electromagnetic be longitudinal?
I know what it is, Ms. Wall. Starts with an L.
Traverse.
Ends with an S.
It's Travis.
Ends with the S. He said something with the S.
Longitude.
Yep.
He said something with the L.
All right. Longitudinal is correct. Now, which of those two waves up there is answer choices are the same?
What?
Two of those answer choices are the same.
We try.
Which two answer choices are the same? Transverse and
Electromagnetic.
transverse and electromagnetic are the same. Okay, a transverse and electro. Put stuff down.
we for a long time.
Transverse and electromagnetic are one and the same.
Thank you.
If you go away, I would not be
I can't
angry.
see, Miss Wall. You know I can't see. Wait.
Oh my God. I got it wrong.
Ah, yeah, good for you.
You pick it?
Ah, yeah.
Better have.
I'm amazing, man. Come on.
You're
You
annoying.
taught me that.
That's fabulous.
What's this?
I don't know what's in it.
How?
Got no idea. Got it on the floor. Good. Now, on this one, did anybody pick C? No, C is wrong.
That's wrong.
In order for it to be C, you would have to start here and go to here. Okay? C would have to end over there.
What is frequency? I have no idea. What is it? Guess. Because guess is always a guess. You going to Hawaii?
Am I going to Hawaii?
You ever been there?
I have.
Like it?
I did.
I've never been there. I wanna go.
All right. 10 waves over 2 seconds would be 5. 10 divided by 2.
How many questions? Is
I got to decide this because the computer's in the way. I can't see that color on the computer.
I've asked him to move multiple times. He keeps telling me he can't see.
Can't see.
You can stand right.
Animation.
All right. What's the key there? Bounces back is the key. So if you see something like that on the test tomorrow, that's the key.
What, Mario?
Turn your music off.
It's really loud.
How about I got this one right? Cause I looked and clicked. Why did you take our test scores off of Kahoot?
Huh?
Oh, Instead of doing right test.
Everybody.
Because
I know.
people would say, oh my God, I picked the wrong one, Miss Wall.
Please.
All right, transverse waves do not need a medium. Longitudinal needs a medium.
Freak.
Oh, God.
You got it wrong.
What is this?
I don't remember this. Get it wrong.
I switch.
It's triangle. It's triangle. Triangle, square, diamond, circle. You only got 5 seconds left.
Not it. Oh, yeah. Oh.
All right, they travel fastest in solids
Who's E?
because they're most elastic.
Oh snap! Oh snap! Y'all couldn't tell me that this was going on.
I read what some of those
Right when
kids
you
said,
told me, I was like, oh, it's right.
like in response.
Yes.
About racist.
Yes.
I don't think they handled it.
Ew.
Like
He
properly.
wiped his foot and he didn't wash his
The
hands.
response was like, yeah. But still, I feel like.
That's not a game. Stop. It's irritating.
Irritating.
Please stop.
No.
Why am I still in fifth place?
I was third. I was second.
Huh?
I'm still in
You have
fifth.
all passes
I'm
left?
second.
Then yes. All right, so they're inversely proportional.
Really, Miss Wall?
What?
All right, if I get this wrong, Miss Wall,
I gotta write down Derek's soul pass before I forget. I'm old.
I was
49. He'll be 50 this year.
see, Miss Wall, look what you did.
I got it right.
Look what you did, Miss Wall.
Oh my God.
Sound waves are compression or longitudinal. Light is transverse or electromagnetic.
Look what you. It's your fault. I should
Alright.
get 3 points for that. Who is real? Who is real? Who is real?
Now, unless you have your orange card, you have no way to get that right unless you're just gonna guess. You need your orange
I
card.
remember this.
Okay.
I got it. I got it, man.
No.
Hey, is it radio?
I would think it'd be easier to do with your orange cards, but if you just remember it, that's great.
What are we talking about?
Invisible light, right?
But it's
I
actually.
know.
No, I swear to God, this is- I swear to God, look at the patient.
There's 2 answers.
No. One is not up there.
I don't know. Shoot. It might be.
What's your language?
Come on, skip it.
Spank
You
him.
ain't gonna
Spank
answer.
him
Come
again.
on. You ready? Come on, man.
Last I knew the answer was no because y'all go and pick up in the cafeteria.
Oh.
What?
Best for yourself.
Miss Wall.
Where it says short wavelength and long wavelength, what does that mean for frequency? So
It's fire.
if it says short wavelength, that means high frequency. All right? So, just as a side note, because I'm asked about frequency tomorrow. Now, I didn't even ask about frequency. I just wanted you to tell me short wavelength. So all you got to do is read it straight from the chart. Short wavelength, that way. So you're looking for gamma. Gamma's on the end with short wavelengths. Okay? But if I had said highest frequency would be on short wavelength. Low frequency would be on long wavelength.
You know, I'm trying to find out who is Rayleigh. Riley, something like that.
Really?
Really?
Riley.
What?
Right.
Come on.
Y'all get beat outside?
Yeah.
And we get.
No. Oh.
Be fear of. two footballs and a baseball being found in her head. So I'm gonna go for a
Oh yeah, they be out there.
Oh, okay.
Balls.
Y'all have Logan and them at your, oh, that's why. Yeah, they were
I
in,
got it right.
they were in third lunch in the fall.
I got it right.
Good. So we say 1 over the frequency to find period. So 1 over 5. So that's why it's 0.2. All
I
right.
just got mad because I got put down in 6th place now. Oh, that was the last question?
There's it.
Y'all see it.
Take your phone.
All right.
She cheated.
Phone's right here. I didn't even see it.
She used her notes.
All right. All
So
right.
what's that right there?
If you will,
Or view sheet.
put your phones up. We're going to do
Yeah, like she been in.
new content.
It's time to pack
I
up.
really love it.
Not time to back up, genius.
He's a hanger.
All
What
right.
am I hitting for?
Those of you who have not finished your review sheet,
I'm not in 6th. I was in 5th.
you know I will be looking at that tomorrow.
Don't get him chopped. He was in the
I'm gonna don't get him chopped. I feel like I'm back in the fall semester.
Oh, it's wrong. Can you give me permission to throw this?
No,
If I throw it, you go right me up.
it's a high probability.
That's a referral.
All right, so we're
Not
gonna switch
funny.
gears for our last
Not fine.
20 minutes, and we're gonna start the chemistry unit because I'm done with waves. Okay, I could give you 20 minutes to work on that review sheet, and the vast majority of you will play on your phones.
Most likely.
So I'm not going to spend 20 minutes giving you free time to play on your phones. Grace, I've already asked you multiple times to get off that counter. Now you have Nigel on the counter. So Nigel, get off the counter with me. Sit in a chair, sit on a stool. If Miss Curry came in here, she'd have a stroke, and I make it my mission in life never to deal with Miss Curry. For any reason. All right? Now, we're going to talk about the atoms. Those of you who had, what was it, Miss Cologne?
Miss Cologne.
It's what Paula said.
Miss who?
It's Paula said.
Okay, Miss
like
Collins.
Tylenol.
Okay. All right. Now, she would have taught what we're going to do Thursday with atomic number, atomic mass, and finding protons, neutrons, and electrons while you were in 8th grade. All right? No phone. All right? So that's what we're going to start with our chemistry unit. Most of you will have had some experience unless you just truly did read out the textbook. And then you're not going to remember any of this. All right? So the first part of what we're going to do is review from the electricity earlier. And you might see this on our CFA on Thursday. So an atom is the smallest part of an element that can exist alone.
Atom is the smallest part of an atom.
Yep. Thank you for returning those pieces and not hurling them across the room. Tempted as you were. And how hard that was for you. Yes, Tyler. Stretching. Okay. Now, most of you, and I'm not even going to write this down up here, remember the 3 parts of an atom, right? Protons, neutrons, and electrons. So, not writing that. Y'all don't have to write it down. Huh? Y'all are writing that?
I need it.
I tried for what?
Are we writing it? Or
I wasn't going to, but apparently these two are.
You don't have to put it up there. We know what it is.
Now, I want to talk about the 2 parts of an atom. Because when we did the quiz and the test on this, not all of us are together with me on this one. Okay? It's not unusual for that to happen. However, we need to all be together on this. Derek, get off the counter. I already threw Nigel and Grace off again while you were in the bathroom. So sit in a chair or on a stool. Thank you very much. So, what are the two parts of an atom? Okay. So we have the nucleus. And we have the electron cloud. Now, when we talked about this being my pet peeve, what particle did we say was always found in the electron cloud?
Electron.
The electrons. All right?
Electron.
So if the electrons are always found in the electron cloud, what has to be found in the nucleus? Now, this will be important to us when we start talking the atomic mass and the atomic number and figuring out protons, neutrons, and electrons. Okay? If you remember mass, you might remember why that's important. Might. Probably not, but you might. Now, and I give you a moment to draw that chart. The mass column is the new piece that we're going to talk about because that's the piece we need to talk about how to find the sorry, I was distracted by my paper clips being put together. How to find the numbers of protons, neutrons, and electrons. Do I remember what? There's Carmexes in the middle of the floor. Okay.
I want to go to the airport.
You want to go to the airport? Why?
I really like it. It feels like you're like, you don't exist anymore.
You don't exist where?
Like, you know how like you go somewhere else, right? It feels like you're just pausing life.
You want even more yet. If you got your
It's like looking like at the planes outside. It's really nice. And then like the overpriced Starbucks and like all the overpriced food. It's really nice.
Okay. All right. So what's the charge on a proton? Positive 1. We give it a number. Okay, so plus 1. What charge does an electron have? Negative 1. And a neutron?
Nothing.
0. Okay, so since nothing, we give it a 0. All right, so a proton and one other particle have approximately the same mass. Any idea which two particles have roughly the same mass? That's usually the answer I get, but it's actually not the electron. It's the proton and the neutron. So the proton and the neutron are assigned masses of 1. I'm going to change the size of that and make it a little different. All right, get rid of that and do that. All right. All right, so a proton and a neutron have approximately equal masses. So we assign them masses of 1. Okay? Now, the electron is a little different. An electron has a mass of 0 because it is negligible. Now, negligible means so small, it is not important. Now, catch up with me and I'll explain what that means. All right, we caught up? Now, if you go to the doctor, what's the first thing they usually have you do when you go to the doctor?
Sit down.
Okay,
Wait.
let's say the nurse calls you back.
Hey, wait.
Sign in.
They wait, okay? So they have you get your weight. Now, if they're really nice, they'll tell you to take your shoes off. But if you're like in my doctor's office, where's the scale?
Right in the front.
In the hallway, okay? So if they're in the hallway, do you take all your clothes off?
No.
No, okay? Thank God. All right, so most of us don't have our clothes taken off because we're in the hallway. What do we always wear when we go to the doctor's office?
Underwear.
That dress.
Well, not everybody, but generally speaking, we all have on what? Clothes, okay? So maybe if you go in the summer, you have shorts and a t-shirt. You go in the winter, you have pants and a shirt, all right? But we always have on clothes. Does the doctor care that one time you go, your clothes weigh 2 pounds, and the next time you go, your clothes weigh 1 pound? Is that important to the doctor?
No.
No. That's what I mean by so small it's not important. The difference in our clothes weighing 1 pound or 2 pounds doesn't matter. Does the electron have a mass in the atom? Yes, but it's so small it's not important, so we assign it a mass of 0. What makes up all the mass in an atom based on the numbers I just put up there on the board? Protons and neutrons make up all the mass. The electron has virtually no what? It has virtually no mass. Does it have a mass? Yes, but it's so small it's not important. So when you go to the doctor, do your clothes have a mass when you get on the scale or a weight? Yeah, because we're on the scale. Our clothes have a weight. But does it matter that this month if you go, you have on short sleeves, and if you go in December, you have on long sleeves? No. Right now, if Grace went to the doctor, she's got on a hoodie and pants. If she goes in July, is she likely to be wearing hoodie and pants? Really? All right, Grace needs a psychiatrist if she's going to wear a hoodie and pants in July. All right? So, the 2 things we're going to work with tomorrow after the test is atomic mass. Very good. Is atomic mass and atomic number. All right? So, what is atomic mass? Does anybody remember that word from 8th grade? Malik, I'm working hard over here. The least you can do is stay awake. All right, it has to do with that. We're going to find it on that. I'm going to give you a periodic table Thursday. So what is it?
Oh, I don't know. It's just one of the numbers on there.
It's just one of the numbers on there. That's something. What's atomic mass?
How heavy something is? Something on there. Wait, like
Let's try atomic number.
dense or something?
Nope. Let's try atomic number. It's
It
easy.
is ordered.
Huh?
I
I didn't hear what you said.
said number. In order.
Atomic number tells the number of protons in an atom. Okay? It tells the number of protons in an atom. All right? Now, atomic mass tells the number of protons and neutrons in an atom. Now, as Diavion said, she was like, all I know is it's on the periodic table this fall.
All right.
Now, since both of these are on the periodic table, how are you going to know which one's which? How are you going to know? Look at the definition. How are you going to know? That's right. Which one's bigger? All right. This one says protons and neutrons, and this one just says protons. So which one has to be bigger? That's right. This one will always be the bigger number. Atomic number is always the little, or let me say this, it's always the smaller number. Okay? It's always the smaller number. So, when you look at a periodic table, what is the 11 going to have to be now? It has to be the number. What is the 22.99 going to have to be? Now, notice I did not say words like it's on top and it's on the bottom. The reason is, on that periodic table, atomic number's on the top. On that periodic table, atomic number's on the bottom. It depends on the author as to which one goes on the top and which one goes on the bottom. Okay? But because mass is always a combination of protons and neutrons, it's always going to be the bigger number. It doesn't matter if it's on the top or the bottom. Now, what's our homework tonight?
Nothing.
Finish the what?
Review sheet.
Finish the review sheet. I've had 3 people turn it in this class. I didn't get anybody else's. I told you I wasn't giving you more time to sit in class and play on your cell phone today. Sorry, I'm just not.
Ms. Wall,
Yeah?
are you not terrified at how well your phone can like identify faces on the camera?
No.
But